Today, I wanted to do just like a chatty get ready with me, shop my stash type of video. I kind of have an idea of maybe like an eyeshadow palette that I want to use today, and I'm going to kind of just base the look off of the palette. But yeah, I don't really know like what bronzer, blush, lip products I want to use, so I'm just going to be grabbing things from my makeup collection while I'm getting ready today. So I want to apply my sunscreen. And I think I want to use one of the e.l.f. like sunscreen primers. This is the Whoa Glow. This is an SPF 30. I'm going to be outside today, and today is Saturday. Josh and I were going to go over to a friend's house here in a couple of hours. Her little girl graduated kindergarten yesterday, and so she's having like a little graduation little party for her. And so she's just, you know, inviting friends over and all of that family. So we're gonna go to that for a little bit, and then Josh and I were gonna go out to dinner at this place that's got like a really nice patio and a food truck. So yeah, so I'm gonna be outside. The weather is super nice today. It's really sunny, so I'm just glad to get out and enjoy the weather after being inside all week working. Just gonna let that seep in, and I'm gonna apply my lip moisturizer. This is just the Vaseline Rosy Lips, the one in the stick form. Okay, so I have two different eyeshadow palettes that I'm debating on using today. So I've got the ColourPop Smoke and Roses palette, which this is what it looks like if you've never seen this palette before. Super beautiful. I have used this one time before. I really liked the look that I came up with using this palette. And then I have one of these LA Colors little eyeshadow palettes that I got from the Dollar Tree. This is in the palette called Playful, which also has like really pretty like pinky tones in it, just like the Smoke and Roses. And I have used this one other time, and I also really liked this. So I did just film a Dollar Tree video and I posted that. So maybe I'll just wait on the LA Colors and I'll use the Smoke and Roses. So I know that some of you guys do have this palette, so maybe you can follow along with me today. I'm gonna prime my eyelids first with my Milani eyeshadow primer, and I am planning on doing kind of like a little mini series with all of these LA Color eyeshadow palettes, because I bought all of the ones that they currently have in that line at the Dollar Tree, and every single one that I have used so far has been a really great palette. Like the eyeshadows have lasted all day, they have good pigmentation, so I think for $1.25, those LA Color palettes are so good. Okay, I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Part-Time, and I'm just gonna use this blending brush that I got out of an Amazon brush set. So I'm just gonna blend this color here in the crease. I'll have all the products and tools that I'm using today listed down in the description box. So if you need to recall anything, or if you just wanna, you know, see the product, I'll have everything linked down below. So yeah, like I've just been so in love with these ColourPop makeup palettes, and I know that those of you guys that own these palettes feel the same way. They are such amazing palettes, and I mean, I know that they are a little bit more expensive than like your typical drugstore eyeshadow palette, but this comes with way more shades than any drugstore palette out there. Well, I can't really say that. The Makeup Revolution, and I think like Profusion, they have some pretty large palettes that are super affordable. So, but I still consider ColourPop more like drugstore pricing. It's like on the higher end, I guess, of drugstore, but like the quality of ColourPop eyeshadows are so good. And honestly, I could have done this eyeshadow look after my foundation. I have not had any issues with any fallout with these mega palettes. So watch, I say that today and probably some of the shades I use will have fallout. Murphy's Law, right? And behind me over here in my video there, I don't know if you can see, I do have the box that this palette came in set up over here, all the boxes to the mega palettes. I just thought that that looked really pretty with my backdrop. And since like my backdrop is roses, I just thought that was cute with the Smoke and Roses. So I'm gonna take some of the shade in Pretender, and I'm taking the Sigma E25 blending brush, bending, bending brush. And I'm going to get some of that on the tip of this. And I'm just going to blend this here in the outer V. So I just wanted to use a color that's slightly deeper than the shade that I used in my crease, just to create a little bit of, you know, a slightly darker outer V color. I don't want anything like too overly smoky today. I want something, I mean, obviously this is not a natural makeup look, but I want something like a little, like not as intense as I could go with this palette. Just lightly blending that. And then I'm gonna grab some of this shade in Alone, this lighter pink. Just getting that on that blending brush. And I'm gonna go around the edges of the colors there, just to blend. Okay, and I do wanna use a color on my brow bone, but I'm gonna wait until like I do my foundation and my brows before I do that part, because I don't wanna mess it up when I go in to do my brows. I'm just gonna go in with the flat pointer brush from that Amazon brush set, and I'm gonna get the shade on the edge, this one here, and I'm just gonna pat this on the eyelid. So this is gonna be like a really pink eyeshadow look. So this is shimmery, but it's not like overly like glittery shimmery. It's just a really nice shimmer. I'm gonna take some of this color on Call right there. I might actually use my finger for this part. I want to kind of just lighten this other shade up a little bit. That might have been slightly a little too light. Just felt like it needs a little bit of separation from like the other colors that I use like in the crease. And I think I'm gonna go in with this shade called This Guy, right here. I just got that on the Sigma Blending E25. I just want to deepen the outer V just slightly. I just got the tiniest amount of that shade on this brush. So I will finish the eyes once I do the rest of the face makeup. For the foundation today, I'm going to use the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. It's been a minute since I've used this, and I think that this will pair really nicely with the e.l.f. Wow Glow. I typically like this foundation with a Lumi primer underneath, better than just like by itself. And I'm going to mix 118 and 110 together, just so I can get like my shade, my perfect shade. I'm just using my Wet n Wild makeup sponge, but I've never tried this foundation with the e.l.f. Wow Glow. I'm like, did I say that a second ago? Maybe I did. But I'm just curious to see how these pair together. I'm also curious, like once we get more into summer, because I mean, we're not even in summer yet, this is May, but to be honest, it has been super hot, like humid where I live already, and I'm like, where May? Like, where is the nice, like low humidity spring days? I'm hoping that today isn't super humid out. Like I haven't been outside yet today, so fingers crossed it's not going to be as humid. We had a storm that rolled through the area yesterday. So I'm hoping that since that rode through, you know, it's cooled things off and things won't be as hot. But yeah, the storm was not bad where I live, like right where I live, but like around where I live, like I think like northern and southern, it's got kind of bad. And I believe that there were like there was a tornado or two that touched down. I live right outside of Louisville, Kentucky, like south, like 30 minutes south. And I'm pretty sure that like southern Indiana had like a pretty big tornado that touched down. I haven't like really read any news articles yet. I just got like a notification on my phone saying that there was 14 people that died yesterday from that tornado. So that is just awful news. But here where I live, like it just got a little stormy. We just had like a severe thunderstorm. It wasn't really that bad. So if you were affected by these storms, like, definitely saying prayers for you guys. That foundation blended out so nice with that primer. So I'll have to see how this like holds up. I've been trying to like rotate my foundations because I have quite a few foundations in my collection right now, and they are all foundations that I really enjoy using and that I really like. Okay, for my concealer, I want to use a concealer that I have not used in a hot minute, but I used to like be obsessed with this last summer. This is the Maybelline Superstay Active Wear in shade 15. So since we're doing a Superstay Maybelline product, I figured let's go ahead and pair this concealer with this foundation. And this concealer does have a little bit like lighter consistency, slightly a little bit lighter coverage than a lot of the other concealers that I have in my collection and that I've been using recently. So I feel like I can get away with using a little bit more of this on the under eyes without it like looking cakey or heavy, or with it like settling into fine lines, at least from what I remember. But I think like over the winter months, I was just finding that this concealer was looking a little bit like drying on me, just wasn't adding enough coverage or something. So I'm just curious to know if I like this a little bit better now that the weather's warming up. It's like sometimes we have products that we just like better at certain times of the year, or at least I'm that way. I don't know if you guys are like that with your makeup. For my setting powder, I'm gonna use the MCO Beauty Flawless or Miracle Flawless Pressed Powder. I don't really know if I've used this much in any of my videos, and I did pick this up recently. And to be honest, like I really haven't reached for this powder a ton, so I can't really give like a full-on review on it quite yet. But the times when I've used it, I have liked it. I wouldn't say that it keeps my foundations mattified or anything like that, but when I first apply it, like it does make my skin look really nice. And I have owned the Charlotte Tilbury Miracle, like Airbrush Miracle powder that this is supposed to be duping. And I do think that this MCO Beauty powder has a little bit more coverage than the Charlotte Tilbury one, but I think like the overall finished look, once you get it on, it looks very similar. And I'm just gonna use like a triangle powder poof. Got this from Amazon. And I'm just gonna lightly use this to set the under eye. I don't really know if I've used this much as like an under eye setting powder yet. Okay, that's really pretty. I like the way everything is looking so far. And for my brows, I'm just gonna use the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil to fill in my eyebrows. This is in the shade Neutral Brown, so I'm just brushing my eyebrows up with the little spoolie side. Okay, and then once I got that applied to my brows, I'm just gonna go back and kind of brush through. For the brow gel, I'm just going in with the e.l.f. Wow Brow in the shade Deep Brown. And I'm just gonna set my brows in place. So I'm trying to debate on what I want to use on the lower lash line, but I think I'm gonna go in with Part-Time. Sorry, that car is so loud. And I'm just using the Sigma Pencil E30, and I'm going to blend that on the lower lash line. I don't know, that almost sounds like a moped. And then I'm gonna grab some of this guy. It sounds like I'm saying this sky, but I'm saying this guy. And I'm just gonna blend this just right on the last sort of part of the lower lash line there. For the brow bone, I'm going to use the shade in Attraction, just like a matte cream. Also, I just love the details on this ColourPop palette. Like on the lid here, I don't even know if it'll show up on camera. I think it does. See how it looks like lacy? I just think that looks so pretty. Like, and it's just kind of like textured. I don't know. It's just such a pretty palette. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to use in the inner corner. I think I'm going to use Torn Apart right here. I know like sometimes these type of palettes can be like overwhelming for people because you've got so many options, but I think that's what actually makes me really like this palette is I love all the different options that you have for shades in here. I'm going to take the shade into Night. It's an interesting way that they spelled that there. And I'm just getting some of that on the edge of an angled brush here, just tapped off the excess. And I'm gonna lightly, definitely wanna make sure you tap off the excess really well. I'm getting a little bit of fallout. It's like the first shade that I've had fallout on. Like, I think honestly, this shade might be better if you get it on the brush, tap off the excess, and then use like a makeup setting spray on the brush. This will also intensify the eyeshadow a little bit. So I'm just using the LA Girl setting spray. So I just misted the brush ever so lightly. It's just going to help that shade stick to the brush a little bit more and keep it from having fallout. Actually, it's misted a little bit heavily. There we go. It also almost turns like shadow into more of like a liquid liner whenever you mix it with like a setting spray like that, a powder shadow. I think I've showed you guys that before in a previous video, but I'm just kind of like taking the corner of that up just a little bit just to draw the outer edge of my eye up. Like I'm not doing a full-on like wing. And I think I'm gonna use this LA Colors contour stick again. I used this, maybe I'll actually use this and like these two Bronzery products that I used in my Dollar Tree makeup video just recently that I posted. This is the Be Pure Glow Up Contour, and this is the LA Colors Contour Stick in the shade Deep. Maybe I'll just use one of these. I don't really know. I'm gonna just first start out with the Be Pure Glow Up Contour. This is in the shade, I think, medium, light medium. And just gonna put two little dots there first. I did really like this in my Dollar Tree makeup, like my first impressions that I did. It was like my second Dollar Tree makeup first impression makeup video. I'll have it linked above in the cards if you haven't seen it yet, but I did really like this. I just was having like a lot of issues that day with my makeup. I think mostly because of that primer that I used underneath everything. It just added way too much moisture to my face. So if you are if you have really dry skin, I think that primer that I was using in that video would be really great to add hydration to the skin. But since, you know, I tend to be slightly a little bit more oily, like that just did not work well for me at all. So, but I'd like to use this again just to see how it lasts and, you know, just so I can get a little bit more experience with it. But it blends out super easily and it's not a super intense like bronzer. So I feel like if you were a little bit more fair, this might be a good shade. And to do some slight contouring, I'm going to go in with that LA Colors contour stick in Deep. which for being like a deep shade, it's not really that deep, at least in my opinion. This also blends out really easily. I mean, I just can't get over that, like, those bronzers are just $1.25 each. Like, it's just insane. Like, the Dollar Tree really does have some good hidden gems. I'm gonna get this kind of up in my hairline just a little bit. I find that since I use sunscreen, that sometimes if I don't get like bronzer up into my hairline, it can look like I have a mask on. And honestly, like, I haven't really used this on my nose too much. I'm just not really the type of person that does like nose contouring, but let's just use a little bit of it today. Do it like the way the people do it. They put it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not like a big nose contour type of person. I just don't really feel like it's necessary. And I do want to like set everything. I know this is probably overboard with the bronzer, but I'm going to use the Mercerie Sunlight Bronzer. This is also from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just feeling like I want to look super bronzy today. And I'm just going to use my Sigma F30. And I'm just going to pat that. Which I know in one of my recent videos, I was telling you guys that I was highly considering buying some BK Beauty brushes because they were doing a sale for Mother's Day. And well, the sale has come and gone and I never ordered anything. Maybe I'll just end up getting some for like my birthday. I don't know. It's just like one of those things where I do want to try those brushes, but at the same time, they're expensive even when they're on sale. And also, I have so many brushes that I do enjoy in my collection. I'm like, do I really need those? I definitely don't need them, but I just mainly want to get them to see how they compare to like the brushes that I have. Because I know so many influencers are raving about those brushes. And I know that the lady that created that brand is also an influencer. So, you know, I'm not saying that they're bad brushes, but sometimes things can get really hyped that it's like, is it really as good as people say it is? Like, I don't know. And I'm going to take a little bit of this bronzer on a blending brush, and I want to put this like at the top of the crease just to kind of tie things in a little bit. Oh, actually, I did get another Dollar Tree blush that I didn't use in that Dollar Tree video. It's one of the LA Colors blushes. This is in Peony Perfect, and it is a matte blush. I know that they have several different shades in this line, but I think this would pair really nice like with the eyeshadow today. So let's use this. And I'm just using my Morphe M241 brush. Just gonna lightly put that on the cheeks. And this is kind of similar to the other Dollar Tree blush that I used from like that Be Pure line. Or technically it's B Color, but it's that same sort of line. It's like a liquid blush. I think that these colors are kind of similar. It's just that, well, I was gonna say maybe the powder. Yeah, I guess the powder blush is slightly a little bit more warm toned than the liquid. Is it even focusing on this? But yeah, they're kind of along the same sort of lines there. But yeah, that is a pretty blush, pretty matte, like warm pink blush. Just gonna go back with my sponge and kind of tap around the edges to blend. And then I wanna use this again from that Dollar Tree makeup video, but this is the Be Pure Glow Up highlighter. This kind of goes in conjunction with the contour, but this was really pretty. that day when I did the Dollar Tree makeup. And I just want to use this. Oh, I might have applied too much. And actually, let's use, I'm trying to figure out what brush I want to use. I'll just use just the flat brush from my Amazon brushes to blend that highlight out. But yeah, I mean, like that highlight blends out so well. I don't really feel like it disturbed the powder blush at all. So yeah, don't sleep on some of these Dollar Tree makeup items. I know, like for myself, I used to always be like, like I'm not gonna even waste like $1.25 on like this Dollar Tree makeup because it's probably gonna suck. But I was really surprised in my first Dollar Tree first impressions video. Like there are definitely, like I said, some hidden gems there. So even myself that loves like super affordable makeup was kind of a little bit snooty to try out Dollar Tree makeup, but it is actually really good, some of the things in there. I'm just gonna go back with a little bit more of the blush and put that like slightly on top of that highlights just to blend a little bit more. Okay, so that's really pretty. I've got like hair sticking out. I need to dry my hair. I'm gonna go ahead and set everything with my makeup setting spray. I'm gonna fix my hair, put my clothes on for today, and then I'll come back and we'll figure out what lipstick I'm gonna use. Okay, so I just fixed my hair, put my mascara on, and I also used a little bit of the Maybelline. Oh, I just realized I don't have my mic on me. Let me get that on. And I also use some of the Maybelline Fit Me powder to mattify my T-zone, because after I used the setting spray, it kind of made that area a little bit too luminous. And I got my jewelry on, and I just absolutely love these cute little earrings. I got these at Forever 21, and I know that like Forever 21 is closing or has closed, but I just think those are so cute. I'm thinking of doing sort of like a red lip today. And I've got a couple of different options here. So this product here, I've used this before in a video. It's been a long time ago, but this is from the brand Tony Moly, which is a Korean brand, and this is a lip stain. So I might use a little bit of this mixed with like another product. But I don't want this lip to be like too crazy bright, so I'm just gonna kind of use it just lightly on the lips. So I'm just gonna apply it first and then dab it off. Which, if you want some serious like lip staining, like a really intense lip stain, this works so well. And this color is really pretty because it's like an orangey red. I know a lot of these types of lip stains kind of go like a bright pink color. And this one is in the color Ruby Shocking. I know they've got a few of these. These are their Shocking lips. I don't even know if I said what kind of lip product it was from Tony Moly, but it's a Shocking lip. So just kind of like a light, well, it's not really light, but just like a tint. And then I want to go over top of that with this Revlon. This is one of their super lustrous shines in Cherry Luster, which this is also kind of like an orangey red, but it's not a super intense orangey red. Like, I'm just going to do a swatch of it here on the back of my hand. It's like a little bit lighter. It's very kind of sheer. So this is the final makeup look. You can see everything up close. So I love this ColourPop Smoke and Roses palette. I think it is so good. I love all the products that I used today and would recommend any of those, especially the Dollar Tree products. Like for $1.25, you just cannot beat these that I used in today's video. So before I leave, I did want to read out of my devotional today, and this is the devotional book, Blessings for the Morning and Evening by Susie Larson. So today's devotional, this is the picture for today. It's a very simple picture. And it says, release your cares. May God himself surround you with his tender mercies and grace today. May he heal your soul so you can live by faith. Where you once reacted out of your insecurities, may you respond in faith, knowing you possess all in Christ. I was hoping that I was filming for a split second. I thought I wasn't filming anymore. Where you once white-knuckled your worries, may you release every care to him and lift your hands in praise. You are not made for this world. You are only passing through. And that car was only passing through. Live as the divinely loved and called so you are. And the scripture for today is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. So I think that is such a great reminder. I know I say that after I read every devotional, but yeah, I mean, it's so easy to just get like caught up in the worries of your day to day or week, or just, especially when you're going through something tough or when something traumatic happens. It's much harder to just put your trust in God, but that is what faith is. Putting your belief in what you don't see, that it's going to happen. So I hope that gives you some strength and encouragement today. Thank you so much if you stay till the end, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.